MPs have demanded that large sums of cash paid to Lib Dem leader Ed Davey and former Post Office Chief Executive Paula Vennells is given to victims. Lib Dem leader Sir Ed Davey and former Post Office Chief Executive Paula Vennells are both facing demands to hand over money to a fund for the victims of the Post Office Horizon scandal. Over 5 years, the Lib Dem leader received £275,000 from Herbert Smith Freehills, a legal firm connected with the Post Office scandal. The payments came after he was Minister for the Post Office in the coalition government in 2012 and had initially refused to meet Alan Bates and other victims of the scandal, saying that a meeting would serve no useful purpose. But a source close to him said that they were received before the legal firm's involvement with the Post Office, which began in 2019, and were for advising on climate change and energy, another former ministerial brief. Meanwhile, Ms. Vennells, who has just handed back her CBE after more than 1 million signed a petition to have it removed from her, earned £2.2 million in bonuses while she was chief executive and has been accused of covering up the cases. Now MPs believe they and others at the heart of the scandal, which has been linked to at least 4 suicides and ruined the lives of hundreds of innocent people, should hand over their earnings and give it to the fund set up to help sub-postmasters rebuild their lives. Sir Ed has claimed that he was lied to on an industrial scale by the Post Office executives and Fujitsu, the company behind the faulty Horizon software, and noted that he did eventually meet the victim. But both he and Vennells are now under pressure to hand over the cash. Of the 5 MPs who initially raised the problems in 2012, only 2 are left in Parliament: Independent former Tory Andrew Bridgen and Labour's Kevin Jones. Mr. Jones told Express, "People like Vennells who profited from this misery should make sizable donations to help the victims." Mr. Bridgen said, "Will Ed Davey be handing back his knighthood? I doubt it. Our honours system becomes more discredited by the day. What the victims really need is proper compensation for the false criminalisation and humiliation they suffered at the hands of the establishment, which closed their eyes, ears and ranks on them because they were viewed as irrelevant collateral damage for political and corporate career advancement." Perhaps Sir Ed Davey should hand over the money he took from the same lawyers who victimised innocent sub-postmasters, and Vennells should hand over her undeserved multi-million-pound bonuses from her disservice of the national treasure that was once the Post Office. The issue has hit the headlines after the ITV biopic Mr. Bates vs. the Post Office revealed the suffering of hundreds of sub-postmasters. In handing back her CBE, Ms. Vennells issued a statement apologising for her role in the cover-up. She said, "I have so far maintained my silence as I considered it inappropriate to comment publicly while the inquiry remains ongoing and before I have provided my oral evidence. I am, however, aware of the calls from sub-postmasters and others to return my CBE. I have listened and I confirm that I return my CBE with immediate effect. I am truly sorry for the devastation caused to the sub-postmasters and their families, whose lives were torn apart by being wrongly accused and wrongly prosecuted as a result of the Horizon system.